Hello, my name is Anna Robotham, and today I will be doing a recommendation report on solar power and wind power. So we'll start off with a little brief background. Solar power is created through the use of solar panels that harness the sun's thermal energy and transform it into usable energy, and then it can be distributed out to a residential home. So typically solar panels are on top of people's houses or, laid out somewhere, and then they harness the sun's rays, and then that energy is transformed into usable energy in the charge controller, then stored in the batteries, and then transformed into AC power in the inverter, and then it goes out into the main breaker panel. Solar power is not typically used on a wide scale. There are systems like a concentrated solar panel system that can be used on a larger scale. However, there's not much research done in these processes of large scale solar power. We're just going to be discussing solar power as a residential use. So solar panels are also called photovoltaic panels, and they run about $275 per watt. This price is an average for solar panels that run about 16 to 17% efficiency using materials like silicon and a crystalline structure to harness the sun's rays. SunPower is a company that has reached a maximum efficiency of 22% by backing these solar panels with copper plating. However, these do cost more at $490 per watt. So wind turbines are obviously powered by wind. The wind will rotate the rotor blade, which produces a mechanical energy that is then transformed into usable energy and then is transported into a transformer and out onto an energy grid, like ones we use today to get our energy from non-reusable energy sources. Wind turbines can power thousands of homes with just a singular wind turbine. So it's used on a wider scale, and it's not for a singular home use. They run about 135 per watt, and because they are this wide scale, they are commercially controlled. So it will be just like the oil industry we have now, where the oil prices are based on market demand. The wind power price can vary based on the market demand if we were to completely switch to wind power. Something to consider with wind power is that you need an average wind speed of 6 meters per second, which is about 13 miles per hour in an area for a wind power to generate enough power to be efficient. However, wind power is transformed into a transportable energy source. So you don't necessarily need a wind turbine exactly in your area. They can even be offshore, and then the energy and power can be transported into more residential and city areas. So now we're going to discuss which one of these is better. So as we see on this slide, a graph of employment growth from 2017 to 2018. Obviously, solar power has the most employment growth with wind beneath it, and it's less than half of the growth of solar power. However, in 2018, there was less new employment in solar power than there was in 2017, and as you can see, there was almost 4,000 more employees of wind power than there was in 2017. So these are trends that need to be watched carefully and are very important. If there's going to be a lot less new jobs offered in solar power, then wind power could potentially overtake it. However, this could just be a year that was off, and it could bounce right back and continue growing and offering more employment. So another thing to consider is electricity generation of these sources, right? So solar power doesn't produce a lot of energy due to its low efficiency rates, and it's usually on a private basis, right? So you have a set of solar panels on your house and it produces energy for your house. So it doesn't produce a lot of energy. However, wind power has just surpassed hydroelectric power in 2018 to become the largest renewable energy producer in the United States. So that means that out of all the renewable sources, it produces the most energy. So the last thing we're going to talk about is debt and equity of these different sources. There are multiple different systems for solar power. Like I said before, there are the concentrated solar power, and then there's large and small scale systems. And so we're also going to look at the wind power systems. So all of the yellow and orangish are the different solar panel systems. And as you can see, all of them have less debt than wind power, but they have less equity as well, meaning they cost less overall. Like, you're not going to go into as much debt, but you're not going to get as much net gain use out of them. Whereas wind power has more debt because one system does cost a lot more because it powers so many houses, but because of that, the equity is a lot higher. So now I'm going to talk about my recommendation. I recommend wind power. Now, this is because it will maintain the grid system that we have today, meaning that the jobs used in maintaining the electricity grid, like the towers and stuff, does not get affected. Those jobs will remain safe and no job loss will occur there, whereas that is a potential to occur with the residential solar panel system. It also causes a low economic impact because of this, and also because it's already producing large-scale amount of energy, as we saw in the diagram showing that it is now the nation's largest producer of renewable energy. Another thing to consider with wind power and why I think it's better is because you can have onshore and offshore systems and have the energy transported. So this means that if your area is highly populated, like say you live in New York, you could have it, like in New York City, you could have it in uptown New York, in upstate New York, not uptown, upstate New York, and have energy transported in. Or if you live like we do in Houston, you could have them off in the Gulf and have that energy transported in. Another thing that I think is great about wind power is that, yes, it is mainly a commercial system on a large scale, but you can buy a singular wind turbine for about $1,000 that can power your home. So it can be a single home system and commercial system, and it has the opportunity and flexibility to do more than just one or the other. All in all, I believe that wind power is the better choice, and the efficiency, the cost, and everything in total to me makes it seem like the better option. And I would like to thank you for watching my video. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. This is my works cited page if you want to do any more research on what I found. And thank you very much.